What are the top foods with vitamin B12 that you should eat if you have a vitamin B12 deficiency? I get this question from so many patients, and here's what I tell them. See, vitamin B12 is a very important nutrient. It's an essential nutrient, and if you don't get enough of it, it could lead to a deficiency, and that can cause serious health concerns, all the way from just dry skin up to irreversible nerve damage. It can even be a fatal deficiency. So, what is vitamin B12? Where do you get it from? And why is there so much of confusion about it? Unlike something like vitamin C, which is easier to get and easier to understand, there is a lot of confusion about vitamin B12. So, let me help clear up some of that confusion in this video. Vitamin B12 is a water soluble vitamin. You get it through your daily food intake, and then you retain it in your body for a short while, for some days at a time, days to weeks to months, and then it gets flushed out of the body if it's there in any excess. It's found in nature, and unlike most of the other vitamins and minerals which are found in plant foods, and vitamin B12 is one that is not found in plant foods. Plants don't make it, and animals don't make it either. Where do you get vitamin B12 from? You get it from nature itself, directly. The soil, bacteria that coat the surface of the earth, those are the producers of vitamin B12. So, for example, when you pass stools, there's B12 containing bacteria in the stool. When a cow passes stool, that's cow dung, there's B12 producing bacteria in that cow dung, and then that bacteria ends up in natural water bodies, in soil, in wells and rivers and lakes and streams and ponds, and those bacteria produce vitamin B12, which is then found in nature. So as long as we were living a natural lifestyle as a part of nature, we were getting enough vitamin B12. But when we shifted into a city, a sanitized environment, we stopped getting the B12 that we need to stay healthy. So if you're living in a city today, you might be at a risk for vitamin B12 deficiency. I live in a city and I know I'm at a risk for vitamin B12 deficiency. Especially as you grow older and irrespective of your diet. These are two things to remember. Now, a lot of people think that vegans, those who don't eat any animal foods, are at a high risk of developing B12 deficiency. And that is true. A lot of vegans have B12 deficiency. But so do vegetarians, so do non-vegetarians. People who eat various types of different diets tend to get B12 deficiency because we have lost our connection with nature. Animal foods like dairy products, meat and seafood tends to have some B12 in it, most of which is given through supplements to the animal. Like chicken and cows are given vitamin B12 supplements, and therefore they have B12 in their bodies, because even they have been removed from nature and kept in farms and factory farms today. Anyway, how do we, and that's important to understand, because no matter the diet that you're eating, you may still be at a risk for B12 deficiency. And the other thing to remember is, as you age, as you grow older, above age 65, the mechanisms in your body to digest and absorb vitamin B12 become very weak, which means that you need much more of the supplement dosage than you would when you were younger. So ages 65 and above need a much higher vitamin B12 dosage, simply because of their lowered ability to absorb vitamin B12. And now let's talk about, where do you get this vitamin B12 from? How can you make sure you get enough of it? You're eating a healthy, well-balanced diet, and that's fantastic. That's the first step for improving your vitamin B12 absorption, because it keeps your digestive system healthy. But how do you get enough of it to absorb in the first place? A lot of people, the first thing that comes to mind for a lot of people is animal foods: meat, fish, eggs, or dairy products. Now, these foods do contain vitamin B12. Some of them may be through natural sources, most of it may be through supplements given to those animals, but they do contain vitamin B12. But if you choose to get your B12 from, say, milk and milk products or other animal foods, they carry a risk of several other chronic diseases. Consuming fish and seafood can increase your risk of mercury contamination, mercury poisoning. Consuming your B12 from eggs increases risk of heart disease and food poisoning. Consuming your B12 from meat increases risk of several diseases from diabetes all the way to cancer. Consuming your B12 from dairy products increases risk of Parkinson's disease, mouth ulcers, and several other conditions. So if you choose to get your B12 from these foods, yes, you may get enough B12, but you may also be left with a higher risk of disease, which is what we're trying to avoid in the first place. So, but if you choose to get your B12 from healthier foods, for example, fortified foods, foods that are healthy to begin with, whole plant-based foods that have B12 added to them, then you get the best of both worlds. You get enough vitamin B12 and you get to eat healthy foods and stay healthy. For example, Sampurna Ahara has this fantastic vitamin B12 laddu. This is called the flaxseed B12 laddu, and it has like literally two ingredients. It has flax seeds and dates. Flax seeds give you the nutrition of the laddu, the dates give you the sweetness, and then it has vitamin B12 added to it. So this one is the cardamom laddu. It's flavored with cardamom powder, and it has cyanocobalamin, which is vitamin B12 added to it, and it comes in different strengths. If you're up to age 65, there's a separate strength for you. If you're age 65 or above, there's a different strength for you based on your nutritional requirement. And it comes in vanilla, chocolate, and cardamom flavors, and it's absolutely delicious. And most of the people who try it give us the highest compliment possible coming from an Indian. It's not too sweet, it has just the right amount of sweetness. So if you haven't tried out this laddu, you can try it out. You can order it now. If you're watching this on YouTube, then there should be a link in the description. You can click the link and check it out, try it out, see how you like it. And if you're watching this elsewhere, you can visit sampurnaahara.com and type in flaxseed B12 laddu in the search bar. And if you don't want to get fortified food, you can always go in for a supplement. Vitamin B12 cyanocobalamin is the form that I recommend because it's the safest and most effective for everyone except for patients with kidney disease. So as long as you don't have kidney disease, it's safe and it's effective, it's stable. As per the latest scientific research, 50 to 70 micrograms mcg is a recommended daily intake, and 1000 micrograms is a recommended weekly once intake. So either of these will work well. If you're aged 65 or above, then 1000 micrograms every day is the only option that's left. And are there any risks to consuming vitamin B12? Say, what if you consume too much of it? Because it's a water soluble vitamin, the body just flushes it out. It comes out in the urine. So you don't have a risk of consuming too much, unless, of course, again, if you have kidney disease, which if you do, then instead of cyanocobalamin, we recommend methylcobalamin, which is safer for patients with kidney disease. And that covers the top foods with vitamin B12 that you should be consuming if you have a B12 deficiency. And who should eat it? Should you check your B12 levels to check if you have a deficiency? Well, if you want to test, then vitamin B12 is not a good test to do because it gives you the total B12, doesn't tell you how much of it is effectively being used by the body. So instead, there's another test called urine MMA or methyl malonic acid, and that gives you an accurate indicator of how much functional vitamin B12 is there in the body. Then based on that, you'll come to know if you have a deficiency or not. Now, if you do the test, yes, you will know if you have a deficiency or not. But regardless of whether you do have a deficiency or not, the dosage of vitamin B12 that we recommend is the same. There's no difference. If you have a deficiency, it's the same. If you don't have a deficiency, it's the same. So generally, I don't recommend that people get their vitamin B12 levels tested or the urine MMA tested unless it's medically required and your physician advises it. But otherwise, if you're a healthy individual and you just want to make sure you don't get a deficiency or you want to treat a deficiency, then just directly go for the fortified foods like the flaxseed B12 laddu from Sampurna Ahara, or just get a supplement and get started with it. So That, in a nutshell, is everything you need to know about vitamin B12. If you have any questions, feel free to post it as a comment below this video and we'll be happy to help you out. And I hope that this video was useful for you. I hope you enjoyed it. Please remember to like this video so it reaches more people, and share this video with your loved ones so it can benefit them. And don't forget to follow our channel for regular updates of the latest in evidence-based scientific nutrition. I'm Dr. Achyutan Ishwar, and I'm the co-founder of nutritionscience.in and sampurnahara.com. I look forward to meeting you in the next video tomorrow. Be blessed.